And you had to go through us all. Because we was going to fight, shoot, and do whatever we got to do to protect the people in our community. Because we cared about the people in our community. That don't require money, people. That don't require you to be rich. To give a damn about your brother or sister doesn't require money. To see your brother walking down the street and nod your head at him and say, peace, my brother, that doesn't take money. To see your sister walking down the street, nod your head and say, good evening, my sister, that doesn't take money. What y'all want the money for? To do what? What do y'all want power for? To do what? You don't even love each other. There is no concept of black empowerment because black people don't even care about each other. Y'all all want out. Y'all want to get away from each other. This is y'all goal. And you think that money will allow you to somehow get into a better position with white folks, but they are not respecters of money, bro. It's a myth. It is a myth. They don't respect money. They respect positions. Everything I'm about to say, you already know it to be true. You are a slave. You are a slave to money, to social economics, to status, to politics, to ideology. You have sold your soul to have a place in a world order that you should naturally oppose. I think it was Thomas Paine, correct me if I'm wrong, he wrote in like the 1700s, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Again, power corrupts, meaning power corrupts all people because it's worse than a drug. And the more power you have, absolute power corrupts absolutely. The more power you have, the more abusive of that power you will be. You have never seen a situation where somebody has the ability to adversely affect another person's life and they not use it as leverage to force that person to do anything and everything they wanted to do. So no good man, no man of Allah or Jehovah or Yah or whatever you call our one creator, no man of Allah wants power over others. Now, here's the thing. We use terms a lot of times outside of this explicit definition. We use them in more connotative meanings, right? We have more social understandings of what a word means that sometimes add to or can vary greatly from the actual definition of a word. And this is a problem. So a person could play jambalaya with the words all they want and pretend like they don't understand what they mean when they say we need power. But there is no power unless you can make people bow to your will. I don't want nobody being afraid of me because they depend on me. I don't want servants. I don't want slaves, and no man of God should want to put nobody in a subservient position to himself. And this is a problem that too many of us have. We are corrupted by the idea of power because we don't really have power. We have the fantasy of power. So we seek out anything that we feel will give us an advantage over another human being, whether it's economics, whether it's social economics, your degree, the amount of money you make, the job positions you hold, the amount of status you have within a certain environment. We look for anything and everything that we feel will give us an advantage over another human being. That's evil, people. I'm about to say it's not power. It is power, but that is evil. That sort of power is evil because it corrupts the soul. Before I go on the rant, though, let me handle my business. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon to receive notification when I drop more videos. You don't hit the bell icon, you won't receive notification when I drop more videos because I just don't trigger the algorithm. Now, here's what I said. I told the brother, power is not tangible or measurable. It is relative. Let's stop. Let me come back. Let me explain. When I say it is relative, because say I'm in a position where I can terrorize person A over here, right? But person C over there is in a position where he or she can terrorize me. I may have some power over person A, but I am subservient to person C. So power is relative. It just depends on who is subservient to who. That's power. And I mean subservient by force, meaning you have no choice but to do this or else, right? So I may have power over person A, but person C got power over me. So power is relative. I say, therefore, the only reason to seek power is to have a way to affect the lives of those subjected to your power. And that often comes with threats, terrorism, and abuse. What's false about that? Ain't a single lie told there. There ain't nothing false about that. Now go on. I say power also requires a system to establish and maintain it. So let's stop there. No, we're going to read the rest of this here. So all power within this system is that of white supremacy, because you can't become more powerful than the system that established and maintains the different levels or degrees of power. I'm going to read that again before I expound on it. I said power also requires a system to establish and maintain it. So all power within this system is that of white supremacy, because you can't become more powerful than a system that establishes or maintains the different level or degrees of power. What I mean by that? Say y'all think money is power. Money is not power. Money cannot buy you power. Money is a tool of the powerful. Oh man, this teaching. This teaching, people. You ain't getting this from nowhere else. This is teaching. I'm going to say it again. Money is not power. Money cannot buy you power. Money is a tool of the powerful, which means that the powerful are already powerful. With or without the money. The money is their tool, is their weapon, but it is not the source of their power. So when black people think that they can get the money and the power, you know what I'm saying? I'm old, y'all. Yeah, that's old ghetto boys from back in the 80s, right? Most of y'all don't know about that. It was a play on the old movie Scarface, right? First you get the money, then you get the power. For those who think that money buys power or leads to power, don't understand what real power is. Money is not the source of the powerful. Money was created by this system as a tool of the powerful. The powerful created the system. The powerful established the system. And since the powerful all practice in one form, shape, or another white supremacy, even though they are not all white people at the top level, it doesn't matter. It is a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant type of belief system, right? It is very, very oppressive, very, very domineering, very, very controlling, and it's largely based off of race and class. So if white supremacy is what we call the system itself, right? If the system itself is white supremacy, and this system created everything else within it, including money, then money cannot buy you the sort of power you seek within this system, because the system itself has already established the levels of power, and it maintains the level of power by way of legislation. Now think about this. Say you got money, you got buku money. What can you do? What can you do to effect anything? You could buy stuff for people, you can give stuff for people, but suppose the city or state that you are operating in is aggressively opposed to anything you try to do. All they have to do is keep changing the laws. That's all they have to do, because the laws is what the system This system created legal structures to justify certain moves. So once a law is made, now you could challenge the law itself, but depending on what type of law it is, it won't even be challengeable like that. When the government regulates things and tweak laws, they can adversely affect anybody's efforts, regardless of how much money you have. They can affect it. Under public safety, I mean, how do you review that? They can almost claim anything as a public threat to the safety of the public. They did so with that Kojo thing. I mean, most people couldn't. They told you that 99% of people are immune to it, and up to 1%, 99% of them won't even show symptoms. But they still was able to lock down society, force people to take vaccines, and all kinds of other stuff under the guise of public safety. That's power, people. That's power. When they can tell you that you're going to starve to death and lose your apartment and go homeless, everything, unless you take this shot, that's power. That is power. Now you say, well, Kush, if you had money, then you wouldn't need to go through that. But they don't. They still had laws in place. If they said you can't leave the country, your money didn't matter. You couldn't leave the country. If a country said you couldn't enter without having that shot, your money don't matter. You couldn't enter. The United States said you couldn't return without having that shot. I mean, it don't matter. That is what power is. Power is systemic. I hope I ain't losing y'all. I hope it's not over y'all head. As I said right here, power also requires a system to establish and maintain it. That's what I'm talking about. Power is systemic. You cannot get enough money to actually have real power, because unless you are tied into the system itself, you have no power. You're just a rich person. You're just a very rich person. You have no power. You have to be in the system in and of itself to actually have power. So anyway, let me say this here. The reason why power is not the thing that you should seek as a black person is, first of all, the system is white supremacy. There is nothing you're going to be able to do with the system. I don't care how much money you got. The system is the system. So money won't buy you power as a black person. You shouldn't seek power, because the truth of the matter is, everything that makes life worth living doesn't even require power, and it doesn't require money. Money makes life easier because of the way we live. But let's say you take money off the table, right? Let's say we didn't live on this wicked system that was based upon money, right? Because remember, money is a tool of the powerful. But let's say we had no money, then there would be no powerful. There would be nobody that has the ability to force you to do things against your will, because there wouldn't be no system in place that would allow them to do that to you. Their power is in the system. I'm trying to get y'all to see something here. I hope this is not over y'all head, bro. I really hope this is not over y'all head. I'm trying to get y'all to see something here. The power of these people, the source of their power is actually the system. The first thing they did was establish the system. Those men that originally created this thing, those men were not men of any type of power, nothing else. They created a system. They had to get people to agree to it. So initially, the system had to present itself in a very ominous way, like it's a kitten, right? It's harmful. In fact, they had to present it like it was beneficial in a lot of ways. They get people inside of it. Now here we are 200 years later. Now you see what the system is really about. Biden has showed us what it was always about. Slavery. It was always about slavery. It was always about turning the population into their servants, into their subjects. These people are diabolical. You don't even understand why they want to do what they do. They probably don't understand why they want to do what they do. But the first thing power does is seek to maintain itself. It is a drug. We don't need power, my brothers and sisters. We need love. We need to get back to old school love. caring for one another. I remember growing up in the black community, man. You know, the old folks in our community felt protected. They wasn't threatened by nothing. Nobody in the neighborhood was going to hurt them. In fact, nobody in the neighborhood was going to let nobody hurt them. You know, we didn't have to be their blood relatives. You wasn't going to hurt an elderly person in our neighborhood without going through us wild ass boys first. And you had to go through us all. Because we was going to fight, shoot, and, do whatever we got to do to protect the people in our community. Because we cared about the people in our community. That don't require money, people. That don't require you to be rich. To give a damn about your brother or sister doesn't require money. To see your brother walking down the street and nod your head at him and say, peace, my brother, that doesn't take money. To see your sister walking down the street, nod your head and say, good evening, my sister, that doesn't take money. What y'all want the money for? To do what? What do y'all want power for? To do what? You don't even love each other. There is no concept of black empowerment because black people don't even care about each other. Y'all all want out. Y'all want to get away from each other. This is y'all goal. And you think that money will allow you to somehow get into a better position with white folks, but they are not respecters of money, bro. It's a myth. It is a myth. They don't respect money. They respect positions. What position do you have? What type of influence do you have? We don't need no more power structures. We need to break them. We need to break them all so that human beings can once again be free and autonomous. That's what we should want. And the only way we're going to get there is if we have love for our fellow human beings. If we care about our fellow human beings. And that starts with loving yourself. If you can't love you, you can't build a community. Think about it. I'm Brother Kush, aka the Black Alpha. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. You don't like it, hit the thumb down, man. It's all good, you know what I'm saying? But tell me why you don't like it. At least do us that favor. Go into the comment section, tell us what you don't like about what I said. So anyway, I'm Brother Kush, aka the Black Alpha. So long.